I don't think there's anyone in the world, other than the man we're about to speak to, Michael, who has achieved this. One at Super League level, one at the National Rugby League level, one at state level, one at international level. I don't believe there's a coach in history that has achieved all those four things. And I'm pleased to say, joining us, Michael Maguire's on the line. G'day, Madge.
G'day, Joel. How are you, boys?
How are you, more importantly? How are you settling up there in the Sunshine State?
Going well, boys. I'm obviously, I love coaching, and I've been able to do it with a really good group of players. We've got plenty to do, but they've really jumped on board, and they're jumping into training, which you'd expect at this time of year. So really enjoying it.
Any State of Origin hangover from the Broncos faithful, mate?
No. I get jogged a little bit up here. But it's all in a bit of jest and fun and things like that. But look, we're very dedicated to what we're doing here, and they love their rugby league team up here, the Broncos. Everywhere you go, everyone's talking about the Broncos. So looking forward to getting the season going.
Well, you're used to big clubs, of course, South Sydney, one of the powerhouses as well. So you know how to deal with that, Madge. The camp, a lot of teams do the camps, but your camp got a lot of focus on it. How did that all go?
Welcome to the Broncos. We've got to focus on it. But, mate, it was actually a really good camp. We did various challenging things, but also, too, it was actually about connecting together. And they were really good. They learned a lot about each other. The leadership was something there that we sort of had a bit of a focus about, which, every club does. So the senior sort of players connected with the younger players and vice versa. And it was a very beneficial camp. Obviously, we've just got to take everything from that now.
You mentioned leadership. You haven't publicly declared who's going to be the captain yet. Adam Reynolds was the captain last season. Where you're at in terms of naming a permanent captain for the Broncos?
Yeah, Michael, obviously, Adam's definitely the front runner, in that space. And, I've got a deep connection with Reno with what we've done over time. And, I talked to him a lot about footy and really enjoy that. And we've been doing that for years and years. But I think I just wanted to have a good look at what we have. There's different styles of how you want to put the leadership together. And that's something there that we've been doing over the last couple of months. And, the camp allowed me to really sort of see players, in a different environment just off the field. I think that was probably the big part of what I enjoyed from the camp, was being able to just mix with the players. And, sometimes it was just sitting around and having dinner together, being away from the spotlight, being away, together as a group. So that'll come in time. But I just want to make sure that I give myself and the staff enough time to make sure that we get that right, because it's very important.
Now, we had a text before, Madge, and it's a fairly good observation. Gee, you've got some dummy halves. Billy Walters, you got Ben Hunt, you got Smoothie, you got Pakes, and you've got young Blake Moser. How are you going to handle all five of those? And all would be thinking they can play first grade for sure.
Yeah, look, I'm spoiled in that department, and great hookers are very important to any team. Funnily enough, I go back in time when I was at a previous club. I have Isaac Luke, Cam McGuinness, Nathan Peets, Appy Coruscant. And then to have that sort of competition back then really developed that group of players, and they all have gone on and done great things in the game. So I'd like to think that we're talking about the same thing with this group. I'm very spoilt for choice in that department, so that'll sort itself out. And to see them compete at training, it's actually really enjoyable. And they understand that I can only select whether it's one or two when you play each weekend, and how we're going to have that rotation. But it's good fun to watch them at training.
Do you have an update on Adam Reynolds for us, mate? Obviously picked up that knock before Christmas, had an operation. When can we expect to see him back into full fitness and full training?
He's probably still about 2 weeks from full training. He's been on the paddock. He's been training. He can run, and he did a fair bit of the camp and everything. It's just one of those ones. It's just time. You sort of need a month to get through that. But it's progressing really well, and he's probably ahead of where he's meant to do things, because that's what they do at this level. But I've sort of got the physios and everyone around him just making sure that he has to spend time just getting that right with the operation that he's had, and they're managing him really well.
Obviously got Reece at fullback, but Cobbo, what's your views on Cobbo, Madge? Like, what position truly do you think he is long term?
Yeah, Joel, I like him as a winger. I think just the talent and what wingers are doing in the game now. Like, you've got to get your set started, and you look at the teams that are at the pointy end, winning competitions. The wingers they're running phenomenal meters. That they're doing. They're a front rower coming off the backfield, but they're also got to have the athleticism to be able to score the tries. And I think Sel's definitely got that. And it's about building his engine and having him in a great frame of mind and fit and ready to go. And I think, it's in sort of Sel's hands to be able to do that. And, from what I've seen throughout the preseason, he's working hard. So, which is expected. So I'm looking forward to sort of having him in games and watching him, develop off the style that we want to play.
Fitzy's on the text line. Sorry, MC. He says, morning, boys. Can you ask Madge if he's had any of the former greats reach out to him?
I've actually been spoiled, boys. It's amazing how many greats are up here and how many of them I've spoken to. I sort of pinch myself when you sort of get to be around those guys. There's been a lot. And I've been fortunate to do that with many great New South Wales players and, over the last 12 months, and sort of sitting with these guys up here. Well, they've got a lot of greats up here as well. So, I am spoiled from that point of view.
Madge, you obviously had great success over the last couple of years, first with the Kiwis, then New South Wales. How similar, how much do you implement in those back into an NRL coach, having had those short, sharp camps where you've had success?
Yeah, I've learned a lot over the years, Michael. I guess one thing I suppose when I was a younger coach, I probably was a little bit stubborn and, wanted to stay the same. And, going through and working with those players and developing, I guess, over the years, you view things differently. And that's what you get from your experiences. And I'd like to think I've been able to do that. And it's helped myself personally as a coach in, how I deal with players and what I say to players. And, and when you're being able to mix with those real top-end players and get a feel for what makes them tick and try and impart that down into the next generation of the kids that are coming through here. It's been really enjoyable. As I said, we haven't kicked off yet, and there's plenty of stuff that's going on up here on the field and off the field that we're developing, and we want to be different, and that's what we're working towards.
How do you prepare for a season as a coach, Madge? Because it's quite the marathon, 27 weeks, and then you've got the finals. And is there things up your sleeve that you just don't necessarily want to roll out in the first few months of the competition, and which you hold back for later on? Or how do you play that?
Yeah, I do, Joel. I mean, your style of play, and I'm still learning about the players too. So the way that we're going to play the game is going to change subtly as well. And I mean, you and I have talked plenty about footy, and depending on who you have in the team and the quality of what they have as their talent, that can subtly change. And someone like Benny Hunt comes into the team, and I can utilise him in the halves, but also use him as a 9. And just listening to Hunty, as an example, talk about when he's with the Origin team, when he's playing at 9, and how he thinks and what he's doing. Those conversations I get a lot from. So then I can go, well, how do you implement that into what we're doing moving forward? So, it's through this period I'm learning a lot about the players, and the game will evolve and change as we go, and that's the part of the season, which is the great parts of the coaching, because you get to sort of subtly change, and then you get your little wins. So that's something that's going to continually evolve.
You've worked with a few of these players in the past, Madge, but who's someone that surprised you that you didn't have much to do with before you got there?
Oh, that's a good question. Mate, I've actually quite a lot of them. I'm sort of like someone like even a Jesse Arthur's. Like he's sort of developed. Like you sort of have your perceptions and views from afar, and look, I coached Billy Walters back at the West Tigers, and to watch him, how he's developed to where he is now, like he's played a lot more first grade, so he's a lot more experienced. Kobe Hetherington, Corey Jensen, those players have really been impressive about how they've gone about their training. So they're a very hungry group, and we just got to keep working day to day and keep improving.
Tell you what, Madge, you've got a busy first 9 weeks. You're on the road to Canberra, on the road to the Warriors. You play a few local derbies in the Cowboys and the Dolphins. You start with the Roosters. In fact, you play the Roosters twice in the first 6 rounds. I don't know how they do that. I don't know why you can't just play everyone once and then go through others, but they do that for some reason, the draw. And then you've got the Premiers in round 9. So it's a busy start for you.
Yeah, I think, I just focus on the game one, Joel. That's all you can do. And you keep, sometimes you don't know what you're going to have when you get there. Having a really fit, healthy crew, and we're flying along, and that's what a season is. You're going to have a few chops and changes and bumpy times or great times. So how you ride through those is something there that's the part that they're the good challenges that you have as you're going. Being able to get someone coming in when that might be a debutant at some stage. They're the fun parts too. Where a young player comes in and he's worked his backside off, and then you got the family coming through, or you get someone getting a milestone at some stage as well throughout it, whether it's 100 games or 200 games. So, they're all parts of what you roll out throughout the season.
Hey, Madge, former coach of both yourself and mine, Tim Sheens, he used to say to win a comp, you need a scallywag, someone who lightens the mood up at training. Who's the scallywag and the jovial type for the Broncos?
Oh, they've got a few up here, actually. Rena's still got it. Billy's got it. Ezra's got it. Reese's got it. So, there's a fair few of them. They tend to be your spine members. So, they're all characters. And keeping it focused on where we're going is the part that we're working on at the moment.
Wad, you've had an unbelievable 12 months or so. May continue into 2025. We appreciate your time once again. We'd love to chat later on in the year. Michael Maguire, thanks for sharing a part of your day with us, Madge, and good luck to the Broncos.
Thanks, Joel. Thanks, Michael. Appreciate being on.